Hi crafters, this is Crafty Savvy, and I'm back today at a rather awkward angle to share a tutorial on my book in a bag. So today we're going to create the bag portion. So I just wanted to be able to make this on my own as opposed to going to the store and buying the bags, which I did with this particular one. I used one of the canvas totes from the Dollarama, and they're really cute, but not everybody can get them, and I just wanted to be able to share a way that you could make your own. And so I want to let you know that I have, so it's not that hard if I can do it. I'm not a seamstress by any stretch, but I like to play around with the sewing machine, and here's one that I made on my own with some quilted material that I had. It was like a runner and simple stitching, and I made my own little purse here. And then this one I made out of some light canvas material that I also got at the dollar store on a roll, and it's really cute. This is similar to what we're going to make today, because I don't have any material that's just plain like this. But it doesn't matter because these are just as cute. So you could go ahead and use any material that you have available to you. I put everything away now, but I was starting to make one with sort of like a sort of vintage dishcloths and any cotton material or anything that you have that you got from a thrift store or something you're not using anymore. But in this particular instance, I was able to stamp on this one. I probably, I couldn't stamp on these, but I could make something for the front of it just to sew or glue onto the front just as easily. So let's get started. So these bags are, I believe, about 6.5 by 6.5 square. So you're gonna need, I'll just get this out of the way. And again, I apologize for the angle for now, but I'm gonna be, using the sewing machine. And so I cut a couple of pieces of this sort of canvas or cotton, what is it? I got this roll at the dollar store also. It's just called a fabric roll, and it's 50% cotton and 50% polyester. But it works well enough to do the job. You're going to need 2 pieces of fabric cut to about 7.5 by 7.5. I guess just about an inch bigger than the actual bag. Once you sew it and then flip it the right way around, I mean, obviously it gets a little bit smaller. So you want to cut your fabric a little bit bigger, but you want your 2 pieces to be roughly about 7.5 by 7.5 square. And like I said, you'll need 2 of those. And then I cut myself 2 strips. I think these are 14 inches long. Where are we here? Sorry. 2 strips like that, about 14 inches long and about 1.5 inches wide. So you want 1.5 inches there and 14 inches long. And again, you're going to need 2 of those. And guess what? That's it. That's all you need. And you need your sewing machine. Okay, so what you're going to want to do is take your 2 pieces of fabric, and you want to put the 2 decorative sides, if that's what you want to do. Or if you have plain material, then just figure out which you'd prefer on the outside of your bag to show. But you want to put both your patterns facing each other. And the first thing that I want to do is I want to make a finished edge along the top of my bag. Okay, a nice finished folded edge there. Okay, so that's what we're going to do first. So I'm going to take 1 piece of my fabric, and I'm just going to fold it in on itself, maybe about 1/2 inch down. So this is what I'm doing here. So you want to fold the so that the decorative side is facing you now. So just like that. That's the front. And this is the back, and you just want to fold in about a 1/2 inch. And then we're going to take it to our sewing machine, and I'm just going to go across. I probably won't use any decorative sort of stitching this time. We'll just use a straight stitch. And so I'll go ahead and do that. And then I'll also probably go ahead and do the other piece too, and then I'll come back and show you what I've done. Okay, so there you see I just stitched across the top. It's not straight, it's not perfect by any stretch, but you know what? It doesn't really bother me. I like it. I like the way the finished product comes out. So there's the back, and that's all I did. I just folded it over and ran a stitch across the top. And there's the other part right there. So I just did that for both pieces, okay? So that's where we're at right now with that. We're just going to move on to the handles of the bag. And I think I mentioned that this was 1.5 inches. So all I'm going to do with this basically is, I hope we're in focus because I'm trying to look around the camera. So all we're going to do is kind of make like a tube, a flat tube, and then we'll just sew across the back. This is just the way I do it. It's simple and easy. So I'm just gonna take my material and fold it in on itself like this. And then I'm gonna take the other half and then just fold it like this. And I'm just making like a little tube. See? And this is roughly about 1/2 inch once it's closed up. Just like that. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take it to my machine. And I'm just going to run a stitch right through the center or right off to the side, however you want to do it, just to make sure that everything is laying flat, okay? So you're going to do that all the way down. Make sure it's about, you know, staying even all the way down your handle here. I'm going to do that for this one and the other one, and then I'll come back and show you. Okay guys, so here are my 2 straps or handles for our bag. Again, not exactly perfect, but close enough. Not about trying to make things exactly, you know, imperfections are great, I think, on projects like this. It just kind of gives it that more antique or vintage feel. So that's it. See, it's all crooked and weird and wonderful. I like it. But you can certainly go ahead and, you know, if you have a better way, I'm sure there is a better way, but, and keep it more uniform, then please go ahead and do that. Also, I just also wanted to mention that if you don't have a sewing machine, don't worry about it. You could probably use Fabri-Tac to create this project. A little bit of hot glue maybe to keep the bag together. I'm sure there's other ways that you can achieve the same sort of look without sewing if you don't have a machine. Okay, so that's our two handles. So now I want to go back to the first piece of our bag here, and we want to attach the handles. From the end of the material here, you might need a pen or pencil or something, is I want to measure in about maybe about 1.5 inches from the edge, so 1.5 inches, and make a little tick mark, maybe with a pen or a pencil. Let me just, so you won't be able to see me do that, but just hold on 1 second. Okay, so you might not be able to see that, but I can see it. It's right there. And then you'll take your first strap here, and so this is the right side of your bag now, the decorative side, and then sort of the finished side of your strap. And I will place the right hand side here of my strap on the inside of my tick mark that I made here. So right there, that's my tick mark. And then I want to put my strap starting right there, going towards the inside, okay? And then just making sure that I come down far enough, maybe about, again, 1/2 inch there on the inside, just so you have some stability. I'm going to run a stitch across there too so that it stays strong, but maybe 1/2 inch or maybe even a little more from the top, okay? Right there. So now what I'm going to do is just take it to my machine, and I'm going to run a stitch across the top there, and I may even put another one down here towards the bottom of that strap there. So something like I did here. I hope I'm not confusing you too much, but something like this. Just to secure the strap on. Okay? And I'm gonna run the stitch backward and forward a few times. So stitching forward and then putting it in reverse and then going back over those stitches, maybe 2-3 times at least, just to get a secure, make sure that your handle is secure. Okay, so I'm going to go forward and then backward and then forward. Okay, and then I'm going to take it out. Now our strap is attached, and we just got that one stitch there. Okay, and now I'm going to go again, and I'm going to put one just down here so that I know that it's secure. Now we have our 2 stitches holding our strap on, okay? Oops, just like that on the inside. We can go back and clean these up. I usually go back with a nice sharp pair of scissors and clean up all the edges, but we can take care of all that stuff later, okay? Do the same thing on the other side of your fabric. So this is the right side of your bag, and now we want to attach the handle to this side. So you can judge for yourself how long you want those handles. I'm sure that I cut a lot of extra fabric at 14 inches, but you can decide for yourself just how long you like them. I don't mind them a little longer, so I think I'm just going to sew the other side in the same way I did that, just coming down from the top about 1/2 inch, straight down the side, across the bottom, and then back up the other side. I've just gone straight across, straight down the side, so from the top to the bottom corner. Okay guys, so back to our regular angle here, thank goodness. So anyway, so there's our bag that we did. And to be honest, the bag, once we flip it out the right way, it's going to be a little bit bigger than 6.5 in my case, because I kind of sewed a little close to the edge here. I could have allowed myself much more room here, and so I could still go ahead and fix that if I wanted to by just stitching a little bit further in, but it doesn't really matter to me what size this is, in all honesty, because I could just make a journal to fit inside this bag without a problem. So with that being said, you know, you can make whatever size bag you want. You don't have to follow these measurements, but you know, the basic way of sewing it is gonna stay the same. So let's go ahead and turn this inside or right side out. And so there we go. Your little purse is done. You can see the stitching that we did. Not very hard, you know, pretty easy, but still super cute. And I mean, let's just take a journal here and put it in. So there's a journal inside. You know, now you could decorate this however you want. In this case, I had I showed you this one already, but I made a tassel, and you would just have to put an eyelet or grommet in there and attach your pin, a bulb pin to it. Put a tassel on there, and here I just made a little pocket, and there I used just some canvas, and I stamped on it, did a little bit of sewing, and it just created a pocket on the front. I attached a little bit of lace on the bottom with just my hot glue gun. So that's another option for you too. Put a doily on there. Like I said, if you have plain fabric, you could do some stamping just like this. All I did was take my stamp, and I stamped with my ink pad, and that's about it. I put a little bit of lace trim up there. So you can decorate it however you want. So guys, I hope that helps a little. So pretty easy to make, and most of us have, you know, fabric and stuff that we're trying to, you know, use up or get rid of. So this might be a good way to do that, and see, like, you could use whatever you have. So anyway, so I hope that helps you guys, and if there's anything that I did that you would like to know more about, just let me know in the comments below, and I'll help out if I can. So that's it, you guys. You'll give this a shot. I hope you're all doing